NFL edition, we're going to be talking about Daniel Jones. Now, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm not a very big supporter of Daniel Jones to the New York Giants. I personally think the Giants reached when they drafted him. We're starting to see a lot of comparisons. And one of the comparisons that I actually saw the other day when I was scrolling through my social media timeline was Daniel Jones and JaMarcus Russell. I would have never thought that you could put those two names together and you'd find similar stats. But lo and behold, you can. So in the first 20 games of both JaMarcus Russell and Daniel Jones' professional career, JaMarcus Russell threw for 14 interceptions and had 16 fumbles. Daniel Jones has thrown for 19 interceptions and has had 23 fumbles. Arguably, JaMarcus Russell is going to go down as the worst #1 overall pick on the face of the planet. And we all know why. He didn't have a work ethic, he didn't have a desire to do this, and he didn't have a cool little nickname like Danny Dimes. It's frustrating to me to see something like that. However, JaMarcus Russell only played 31 games in his professional career. Daniel Jones is probably going to play more than that. Presently, right now, through the first 20 games of his career, Daniel Jones is 4-16. He has 29 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, and as I said, 23 fumbles. He has fumbled at least one time in every single game. He's lost 15 of those fumbles. So it's not like we can say that he's a quarterback and he holds the ball more than anybody else, so he's more likely to fumble than anybody else. He's fumbling and he's losing the ball. So with the exception of 8 times, pretty much every time this man fumbles the ball, it's a turnover and the other team gets the ball. Now let's flip the script and go and talk about JaMarcus Russell. Now, in his first 20 games, as I said, and let's not even go his first 20 games, let's just go his entire career. In his entire career, he was 9-22 with 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions, 25 fumbles, and 15 of them were lost. We're talking a matter of 11 games. And in a matter of 11 games, JaMarcus Russell fumbled the ball 2 more times than Daniel Jones and lost the ball 10 times total. Daniel Jones has lost the ball 18 times. I get it that one quarterback might be a tad bit more mobile than the other one, but what is this saying for the New York Giants? I understand that JaMarcus Russell was a #1 pick. Daniel Jones was taken in the first round. The expectations, although they may not be quite the same, are still there. You were still a top 10 pick, dude. What in the world is going on? Now, I get it that our offensive line is trash. I get it that Saquon is hurt. But that still doesn't negate the fact that Daniel Jones has lost the ball that many times. If we don't even include this season, I believe he's lost the ball 18 times in his rookie campaign. And let's see, how many did he lose? So he fumbled the ball 18 times in his rookie year and lost it 11 times. Now, that was with Saquon Barkley. So now it's not even like we're saying that I'm picking on him. Yeah, he's fumbled the ball 5 times this year and lost the ball 4 times. So that's even fucking worse, because now pretty much every time he fumbles the ball this season, the other team gets the ball. Yet again, our offensive line is trash. How can you not compare Daniel Jones and JaMarcus Russell and look at these stats and go, holy shit, this is oddly similar? Now, we're not even going to try and go there with saying that Oakland at the time was a worse team than the Giants. They're both bad. What is the deal, and why is no one being harsher on Daniel Jones? Is it because they gave him some cute little nickname, Danny Dimes? And I am not making any of these stats up. All of these stats are courtesy of Pro Football Reference. And it's even better that you can go and look at the stats and you can do a game-by-game breakdown to see exactly how many times he's fumbled, exactly how many interceptions he's thrown, how many game-winning drives he's had. All of this stuff is literally right here at your fingertips. So this isn't me just making things up to try to support my case. This is where Giants fans and other fans are going to disagree with me. Now, I truly believe that the Jets are going to finish with the worst record in the NFL. I could only hope that the Giants would end up with the #1 pick, but I don't think that it's going to happen. Now, if we do end up with the #1 pick, look at what Joe Burrow is doing in Cincinnati. Yes, they're losing, but they're losing and he looks good. Justin Herbert is losing and he looks good. Baker Mayfield is winning and he looks bad. Just because you're winning or losing doesn't necessarily mean that the quarterback's play is up to snuff. A lot of my Eagles fans and Eagles friends are giving Carson Wentz a hard time. But Carson Wentz is somehow finding a way to win games and come back and stay in games with the absolute garbage that he has around him. And yet, Daniel Jones can't do the same. Now, I know that Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate, and Daniel Jones probably never will be that. We're going to be in the very same position that the Cleveland Browns are going to be in, where he's shown glimpses of good, but he hasn't been great. We're going to be stuck with that decision where it's like, do we keep him and settle for mediocrity, or do we just cut ties and let him go? Now, I say that looking at his numbers compared to JaMarcus Russell's numbers, they're really, really close. And we're talking about a quarterback in JaMarcus Russell who they would give him a blank tape and tell him to study the other team's defenses, and he would turn it back in and say, yeah, I got the defenses, we're good. We're talking about a dude who was hooked on purple drink compared to a dude who everyone keeps saying has got all of these tools and all of these talent. What in the world could Daniel Jones do or not do to equal the same stats as JaMarcus Russell? JaMarcus Russell didn't even try, and his numbers are oddly similar to someone who apparently is trying. I think that the Giants are going to have a very serious conversation about what they're going to do with Daniel Jones after this season, and I don't want to hear the excuses that their offensive line is bad and he's got no one to throw to. No excuses. Daniel Jones has looked just as poor as JaMarcus Russell has in his first 20 games, and the statistics are there to prove it. Let me know what you think of my take in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram at @RawSportsTalk. Follow me on Twitter at @RawSportsTalk1. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. I'm out.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like